Did you ever lock someone out of your heart? Have you shut yourself away from the rest of the world? Hi, I'm here to introduce you to The Secret Garden. I am a huge fan of this classic book. So when I heard the news that it was going to be adapted into a film, I couldn't wait to see it. It's a story we all need right now. It will restore your faith in fairy tales and remind you that hope can blossom even in the most unexpected places. But before we begin our story, let me tell you a little bit about the world we're entering. Our story begins in India. India. Mary Lennox was not a pleasant child. She was born in India to wealthy British parents, so she grew up in a beautiful house filled with servants who catered to her every whim. She wanted something, she got it. If she didn't want something, she made sure to make everyone miserable. But although she was surrounded by people, she was deeply lonely. Her parents, wrapped up in their own social lives, barely noticed she existed. When Mary was 6, her parents went to visit the viceroy and his wife, and they left Mary at home with a handful of servants who were instructed to keep her amused. That was when she started throwing tantrums. Mary soon learned that tantrums and commands were the only way to get attention. The servants spoiled her, not out of love, but because they were ordered to keep her quiet and out of the way. She became thin, sour-faced, and quick to anger. There was no kindness in her heart, and she had no real friends. She lived as a shadow in her own home. Then one day, disaster came suddenly. A terrible sickness swept through the house like a dark wind. In a matter of days, it took away servants, neighbors, and finally her own parents. The once busy house fell silent. Mary, forgotten in a locked nursery, was found days later by soldiers sent to control the plague. They discovered a thin, angry little girl who barely understood what had happened. With no family left in India, the decision was made to send her back to England. She was to live with an uncle she had never met, Archibald Craven, at a place called Misselthwaite Manor. The journey was long and strange. Mary traveled by ship, then by train across grey countryside she had never seen before. Everything seemed cold, wet, and unfriendly compared to the warm, noisy world she had left behind. When she arrived, a stern woman named Mrs. Medlock met her at the station. She informed Mary that Misselthwaite was an old, dark house on the edge of the moor. And she pulled Mary aside and said something that would shock anyone who ever dreamed of moving into a cool mansion. "There's nothing to do there," Mrs. Medlock said gruffly. "You'll have to amuse yourself." Amuse herself. How could she do that? She had always been told what to do. She had never been alone or responsible for herself. Misselthwaite Manor was exactly as Mrs. Medlock described, large, gloomy, filled with long passages and shut doors. The wind howled around the old stone walls. Servants hurried about quietly, hardly noticing Mary. She was shown to a small room with heavy furniture and a view of a garden gone wild. She was told she could walk outside if the weather allowed, but she must not bother anyone. At first, Mary hated everything. She hated the gray skies, the cold air, the tasteless food. She hated being alone. At night, she hated the creaking of the old house and the eerie shadows it cast on her bare walls. She missed the familiar sounds of birds, the buzz of insects, and the laughter of children. Here, everything was muffled and far away. But slowly, something inside her began to change. For the first time, she noticed nature. She saw small green shoots struggling out of the earth. She heard birds singing in the hedges. She watched bees and butterflies fluttering from flower to flower. She saw a family of rabbits darting across the lawn. All these things were new to her. Back in India, the servants had kept the animals away. But here at Misselthwaite, there were no fences or walls. There was only a wide open moor. One day, while exploring the gardens, Mary heard a strange tale from Martha, a kind maid who was the only servant willing to speak to her. Martha spoke of a hidden garden, one that had been locked away for 10 years. No one had entered it since. The key was buried somewhere, lost to time. The idea of a secret place fascinated Mary. She was no longer satisfied to drift aimlessly through halls and gardens. She wanted to find the hidden door. She wanted to find the lost key. For the first time in her lonely life, Mary Lennox had a purpose. She knew what she wanted. Now she had to find a way to get it. She began to search quietly, asking careful questions and wandering further than she was supposed to. But Mary had a big challenge ahead of her. How could a sickly, thin little girl with no experience of the outdoors possibly navigate the sprawling grounds and uncover the manor's secrets? What obstacles stood between her and the hidden garden? Would she ever succeed in finding it? Well, you'll have to watch video 2 to find out. Join us next time when we continue the story of Mary Lennox and the Secret Garden. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts below. Who else is excited for the Secret Garden movie? What are your favorite characters from the book? And if you haven't read the book yet, now is the perfect time to start. We'll see you next time. Bye.